Hi, my name is Marty Moyle. I am happy to be back at the reading room for another session. And for all of our friends who are watching this, I just want to say hi to you. And I know we have a lot of friends who watch from all over the world, different states and different countries. So it's especially fun to have you with us. Today, we are going to read Sneezy the Snowman. And we're going to celebrate winter surprises and find out what adventures come to Sneezy the Snowman. Now, this book was written by Maureen Wright, and she is an author who lives right here in the state of Pennsylvania. And the pictures were done by Stephen Gilpin. Now, Sneezy, wonder what's going to happen. Sneezy the Snowman shivered. Brr. It's cold out here, that's for sure. I need a drink to warm me up. So he drank cocoa from a cup, and he said with a smile, I like this a lot. Do you like cocoa? I like mine. I like mine with marshmallows in it. And then, right there, believe it or not, he melted by drinking something too hot. The children cried out, what should we do? And a voice from the puddle said, make me brand new. So, they rebuilt Sneezy as the snowflakes blew. A cold winter wind swirled and flew. The snowman sneezed, a giant, I'm sneezing and freezing and shivering too. A little girl said, well, let's share then. I have something that you can wear. Here's my hat to put on your head. You look awesome, the children said. The snowman blinked his coal black eyes. The pink stocking cap was a nice surprise. Now, I don't have a pink stocking cap, but I'm going to put on a pink top hat because I know that snowmen like top hats too. But then Sneezy the Snowman shivered again. Brr, it's cold out here, that's for sure. I'm freezing every minute. I'll find a hot tub and go sit right in it. He found one and smiled. I like this a lot. And then, right there, believe it or not, he melted from sitting in water too hot. The children cried out, what should we do? And a voice from the hot tub said, make me brand new. They rebuilt Sneezy as the snowflakes flew. A cold winter wind swirled and blew. The snowman sneezed, a giant, I'm sneezing and freezing and shivering too. And a little voice said, then let's share. I have something you can wear. Here's my scarf that's red and blue. I think it would look great on you. The snowman blinked his coal black eyes. The colorful scarf was a nice surprise. It went very well with the bright pink hat. And And the children all said, how about that? But Sneezy the Snowman shivered. Brrr. It's cold out here, that's for sure. I need to feel some warmth on me. There's a campfire by that tree. And he said with a smile, ooh, I like this a lot. And then right then, believe it or not, oh, he melted from standing beside something too hot. Oh, the children cried out, what should we do? And a voice from the puddle said, make me brand new. And so they rebuilt Sneezy as snowflakes flew. A cold winter wind swirled and blew. And the snowman sneezed, a giant AH-CHOO! I'm sneezing and still freezing and shivering too. And a little girl said, then let's share. I have something you can wear. Here's my coat, the perfect fit. I know that you'll look good in it. Oh, this looks nice. The snowman blinked his coal black eyes. That bright orange coat was a nice surprise. It went very well with the scarf and the hat. And the children all said, look at that. But then Sneezy said, oh, phew, I'm way too hot. I've got to take off all these clothes that I've got. And the children yelled, no, that's not the way. Listen to what we have to say. Buy something cold at the ice cream store. Have 2 scoops, or 3, or 4. Well, Sneezy ate ice cream 7 scoops high. This is great, the snowman cried. Now I'm not too cold, and I'm not too hot, and I'm wearing clothes that I like a lot. And then, after eating every bite, he said, at last, I feel just right. Oh, isn't that marvelous? The end. Hi, we're back again at the Cops and Kids Reading Room. We're going to do a craft related to the story that we just read about Sneezy the Snowman. Now, we saw all throughout that book how Sneezy's friends shared what they had to help him out. They shared their hot cocoa, they shared their hat, they shared a scarf, they shared a bright orange coat, and it all helped Sneezy come to a good place so that he could stay without melting and without being too cold and without being too hot. So we are going to take one of the gifts that Sneezy's friends gave him, and we're going to create one for ourselves. Now, that gift was a scarf. Remember the red and blue scarf that his friend gave him? Well, we're going to decorate our own scarves. So we're going to start with a basic scarf that we get from the dollar store, not expensive at all. And these come in different colors and different sizes and different patterns. And what we're going to decorate them with is, when you have fleece like this, it loves to have felt on it. So, how did I get these shapes? Can anyone guess? Well, a couple of ways. First of all, I got cookie cutters out. and I traced around cookie cutters on a piece of lightweight cardboard and cut them out. So I have some shapes just like my cookie cutters here. Here's the Scotty dog that I made by tracing. And here's the shamrock shape that I used for these. And there's horses in here and stars. Now, some things that I didn't have a cookie cutter shape for, I looked on the computer and I just looked up, a line drawing of a kitty, for instance, if I wanted to make a kitty cat. And I saw a simple line drawing and I just made it. And look how my scribbly kitty cat is. You know, you just have to keep trying until you get something that you like on paper, and then you cut it out. And then you take your felt and put the shape on there. And you take a marker of some kind and you trace around. I bet you've done that before for different things. And then you take your scissors and you cut out your shape along the lines that you have. Now, let me show you some of the shapes that I cut out. Besides the kitty cats and the Scotty dogs, I have a skull and crossbones. I have hearts of different shapes and sizes and colors. Because you know Valentine's Day is coming up very soon, so you could make a Valentine themed scarf. You could also make a scarf for St. Patrick's Day, which is also coming up soon. Maybe you just want shapes of things that you like turtles. I'll show you one I like. Is can you guess? Sharks. I bet I know somebody who likes sharks here. And you could do the sharks by themselves, or you could add a mermaid if you wanted. And what else do I have? I have a butterfly. Now the wonderful thing about these shapes is that they like to stick to the fleece all by themselves. But we're not going to walk around with it like that because the shapes would fall off, or they might do what that just did and get caught on my sweater. So we'll glue them on. So you'll use glue and put it on the back of your shape. Now, you don't want to put a big glob, because what's going to happen is you'll have a big glob here, it'll never dry, and it'll make a lump, and it'll just kind of show through. So you just want to put a little bit on the back of your thing and scooch it around like that, so that it's sticky and tacky, and it'll do the job, but it won't leave any lumps or puddles, okay? So you're going to glue that to your fabric. Now, if I were doing a flower, for instance, there's some down there, I might like to do, and this won't stay on by itself, but I might like to put a center in the flower, just like in nature. Do a sparkly one, or you could do a plain one. And you could have several flowers on your scarf with different colors of flowers and different colors of centers. The wonderful thing about nature is that you see colors in almost everything. When you see flowers, they come in a million different colors. When you see kitty cats, they don't necessarily come in pink and green and yellow and purple, but they come in gray stripes and orange stripes and black and white and calico with different colors and gray, all sorts of things. But we like color in our art. And we might see a green turtle, but if your favorite color is blue, you might do a purple flower. So we have here this. Here we have some patterns. This pattern is kind of busy. It has sort of a leopard print on it. So when you're selecting your things to glue on it, you want to be careful that you don't pick something that's too close to the background color, because it'll just sort of disappear onto the pattern. So what you want to do is pick something brighter so that you really have contrast and it stands out. Same thing here. We have the red and white plaid, and let's see, we will do some, you could do your skull and crossbones on there because that would show up very well on there. You could do the Scotty dogs on there. They would show up very well. And you could also do flowers in brighter colors so that you would get the contrast. Here's a color that likes nice bright things against it. So I made sure that I had a lot of shapes with a lot of colors, and we want to make sure that when we choose, now some people might like to put more things on their, let's look at the kitty cat here for instance. You could, if you wanted, I have a little tray here, it's full of googly eyes, and it has some like, I don't know, treasure flowers made out of jewels. So you could put a little flower beside the kitty, or maybe a flower on the kitty. You could put googly eyes, except I don't like googly eyes on kitties because we all know kitties have nice eyes like this. We also have things like this, which are stick-on, and these could be used one at a time. You can pull it right off, so that if you had your sharks and you wanted to have a fish bubble coming up, you could do that, or a fish bubble from the mermaid, you could stick that right on. If you wanted to pick a couple of them together, like this, you could put a collar on your kitty cat, just like that. So there's lots of ways to decorate, and I want you to use your personality. I have some shapes here, and when we do this here in the reading room, we'll have shapes that we can pick from. But if you're doing this at home, if you go home and do it, you can choose any kind of design that you want. Just make it kind of bold. You don't want anything tiny. It'll just disappear into the background of the scarf. And when you get everything put together, now this, I have a heart on here because I was experimenting. I found also some stick-on felt hearts that had peel. You peel it off and you just stick it. And I tried it just to see if it would work, and boy, oh boy, does it work. It doesn't want to come off. So they do these for different holidays too, and just generally different shapes. So you could pick up some of those as well. Now, a couple of cautions for grown-ups. Make sure that when the felt shapes are being cut out, they'll need sharp scissors. So grown-ups supervise that, or do that after your child has traced the pattern. You know the best their skill level, but we don't want anyone hurting themselves with too sharp scissors. And also the markers. You know, I probably have, well, I did take a shower this morning, but sometimes I have marks on my hands from the felt because I use it too quickly before it dries, but that's okay. So, a couple of lessons from Sneezy the Snowman. Always share with your friends, because you never know what they might need the most. And the more you give, the more you'll get back in return. And I hope you have a great time decorating your own scarf. All of these materials came from the dollar store. Some of them were craft things that I already had, but I did not, and some obviously my cookie cutters and so on. The felt squares came from Hobby Lobby for 25 cents each. So it's a very affordable project, and children can make them for themselves, or they could make the gift for a special person in their life. So it's a nice winter project. It'll keep you warm and toasty, and just remember, if you get too warm, go get some ice cream.